Welcome back to Hear Me Out. I'm E.
I'm D.
And today we're going to talk about our fave, Britney Spears. So, more drums or more real life. Apparently, we are going to get the Woman in Me movie. Are we ready for that?
I am.
Go ahead.
So, according to a Variety article written by Angelique Jackson, Britney Spears' biopic film is set at Universal with Wicked director John M. Chu. Universal Pictures has landed the rights to Britney Spears' best-selling memoir, The Woman in Me, with the Wicked director John M. Chu and producer Mark Platt attached to develop the feature. Spears shared the news of the secret project on social media, writing that Platt has always made my favorite movies and telling her fans to stay tuned for more news. Universal won the rights to the Grammy winner's memoir, which released last October and has sold over 2.5 million copies in the United States alone. In a highly competitive auction, in the book, Spears chronicled her journey to pop superstardom from her Mickey Mouse Club days through her highly publicized and scrutinized conservatorship case, with remarkable candor and humor. The book was brutally honest and went in depth regarding her relationships with ex-boyfriend Justin Timberlake and her family, chronicling the predatory nature of those around her in an attempt to control her life. The audiobook, read by the Academy Award nominated actor Michelle Williams with an introduction by Spears, is the fastest selling in Simon & Schuster's history. At the time, Spears was quoted as saying, "I poured my heart and soul into my memoir, and I am grateful to my fans and readers around the world for their unwavering support." Universal has a record of success with its musical biopics, including 2015 Straight Outta Compton, which focused on NWA and grossed more than $200 million, and 2002's 8 Mile, which grossed $250 million globally. The studio is currently developing the definitive biopic of Snoop Dogg, as well as a film inspired by Prince's music produced by Ryan Coogler's Proximity Media. The studio also recently wrapped production on a project from Pharrell Williams and Michael Gondry, inspired by the Grammy winner's childhood and neighborhood. Meanwhile, the first chapter of Chu and Pratt's adaptation of the hit Broadway musical Wicked, starring Emmy, Grammy, and Tony winner Cynthia Erivo and Grammy winner Ariana Grande, will release in theaters on November 22nd. Wicked Part 2 is dated for November 22nd, 2025. Spears has been relatively out of the spotlight since she was released from her conservatorship in November 2021, aside from regularly posting videos of her dancing on Instagram. She stated earlier this year that she will never return to the music industry and that she's instead been ghostwriting songs for other artists. She most recently made headlines after Halsey performed or released her new single, Lucky, which arrived hand in hand with a music video last week. In the lead up to the song's release, Halsey claimed that Spears gave her permission to interpolate her 2000 single of the same name for the song. But following the video release, Spears posted and then swiftly deleted a message on X, formerly Twitter, claiming she felt harassed, violated, and bullied by her portrayal as a superficial pop star. Shortly after, she claimed the post was fake news and that she had love for Halsey, who quote tweeted the message and shared her support for the singer. "I love Britney," wrote Halsey. "I always have and always will. You're the first person who ever made me realize what it means to feel inspired, and you continue to inspire me every day." Spears is represented by Hudson Management and CAA. Chu is represented by Artist First UTA, Allison Binder Esquire of GGSSC, and ID. The Anchor was first to report the news of the developing project. So, what do we think about all of this?
Well, I'm just imagining all the sad moments, and it's not something I really want to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it going to make it that much more real? Like, what's going to happen? Is Britney going to be more scrutinized? What are people going to think about Justin Timberlake? Because he is kicking rocks right now. He is having troubles in the court, sis. Guys, I don't know what's up with him. So yeah, I guess I'm afraid for Britney. Not that she needs me to be afraid for her,
Yeah.
because the media is rough.
That is very true. As an audiobook listener of The Woman in Me, it was rough listening to it. Michelle Williams, and I've said this before on our recap of the Woman in Me memoir, she did amazing, absolutely, absolutely amazing work. But it was sad. Most of it was sad because this is somebody, especially for us millennials, we grew up on Britney Spears. And obviously, we knew what the media showed us of her life. And to hear a lot of the things that she said that we didn't know, and the behind the scenes stuff that were happening when her conservatorship occurred, when the Justin breakup occurred, with the situation with Kevin Federline and her children, hearing all of that, I think, was such a devastating thing because it makes you realize how very little we know about these people that we, idolize and that we like look up to and that we become so like such big fans of, right? We don't fully know what's going on behind the scenes and in their lives. And to know that for 13 years she was in this conservatorship where every move was being monitored, including when she went to the bathroom and how many times she went to the bathroom. Like, her own father did this to her. Her family used her. The men in her life abused her in many ways. And it doesn't have to be physical, y'all, for it to be abused. So there's a lot that went on in her life that's very traumatic and very sad. But I think ultimately it's a cautionary tale, and it is something that should be shared in such a public way as with it being a movie, because people need to be aware of these sorts of things, and we have so many like young artists now that are getting bigger and bigger and who may be going through certain things, and obviously we don't know about it. So maybe it's a way to kind of shed a light for some people to help others. So I think it would be a really good thing to happen. And I'm hoping that they handle it carefully, because it's such a touchy subject matter, right? Like, it's such a sensitive topic. Specifically the things that she went through that were so harsh and so devastating, like her abortion and everything. All of those things, I hope that they're handled with care, and I hope that, it comes out as a good representation of her memoir, of her, and that she's consulted along the way, because, people tend to kind of make creative changes to autobiographies for whatever reason. So I hope that at the end of the day, she has final say in what really happens with the movie and all of that, and that it's successful. What I do want to know, what I think is going to be a little bit messy, is just like who's going to portray Miss
Yeah.
Britney Jean Spears and Justin Timberlake. Like,
Yeah.
that's
That's my question. It
yeah,
has to be the perfect person.
yeah, yeah. Because like, I don't know, I can't even imagine. It's like, and then whoever plays Justin's character, I feel bad for the kid because he's not going to be liked for a while. You know
Yeah.
how people get like really crazy about these things. Um, It'll be interesting to see who plays that bum, Kevin Federline,
Mm,
and her children. One of them's 18. I believe the other one's going to be turning 18 soon. So I wonder how that's going to work, because I think there has to be like some kind of like people have to sign away, like, their likeness or whatever. So I wonder how that would work. I'm assuming Kevin Federline will only do it if he gets a cut,
for
you know.
sure.
Yeah.
Especially
And
since
then
his child support money is going away.
finally,
Hmm.
finally. And who's going to play her deadbeat husband that
Gosh.
she's in the process of divorcing right now?
There's a lot because the person who's going to portray Britney has to be a performer. I guess you
Yes.
can auto tune the music and stuff, but it has to be like very realistic. So I think we'll have high expectations and it
Yeah,
has to be delivered well for us to be like, oh my God, Britney.
I know. I mean, like I said, I think the subject matter has to be handled very carefully, because of everything she went through. But just on the superficial side of things, think about like who's going to be cast to play Christina Aguilera, who's going to be cast to play like her sister. Jamie Lynn Spears, who's going to be cast to play the other members of NSYNC. Like,
I mean,
we
I
may
don't know if it's gonna focus on all those people.
well, I don't think that it's like a focus on them, but they're mentioned in the book. Like, for
Yeah.
example, the fact that like she had a rivalry with Christina Aguilera, that's talked about in the book. Like, there's a whole portion dedicated to her Mickey Mouse Club days and how things were up and coming between her and Christina. And then also like when she was with Justin, there was a time that she was touring with NSYNC. So, in those sense, like in that sense, I would assume that they would have people to portray them. And obviously Jamie Lynn being her sister, they're going to have, somebody cast for that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I hope it's handled, like I said, I hope it's handled appropriately, and it'll be interesting to see once we start to hear like casting and all of that stuff. That'll be really interesting.
Now you kind of hype me up because I want to see with my own eyes how Justin treated her in the.
Oh
And
man,
man, he needs to do some serious damage control beforehand. He needs to go on tour with NSYNC. That's what he needs to do. Get everybody in their good graces
I don't know.
before this drops.
I don't know. I mean, what's interesting? I think we've mostly talked about this year the downfall of Jennifer Lopez, but I don't think we've like really touched that much on the downfall of Justin Timberlake because because up until the fall of last year, he was doing great. There was all these rumors about him and NSYNC, and then that song came out for the movie that they couldn't promote because of the writer's strike and the actor's strike and all that stuff. So he was like heavily involved with NSYNC at that point. And everything was going his way until October when the memoir dropped. And from that point forward until literally this past month that he was hit with the DUI, Justice had a downfall. And like he's put out an album. It did not do well. I think
So tours.
yeah, he canceled some of the tour dates, but I think he's still on tour. I'm not sure. So he does have some tour dates.
Mhm.
And the NSYNC thing still has not happened. So yeah, I don't really know. Like, it was expected that this album was supposed to be like his major comeback. He was partnering up with Timbaland again, had a song with Nelly Furtado, like all of the makings of the past that really helped to like um get him to where he got back in those days. And it
So he
just
wants
didn't.
to bring sexy back,
Yes,
basically.
essentially, he
Yeah.
wanted to recreate all of that. And it didn't happen for him. And instead, it's just been like kind of one thing after another that it hasn't really looked good. I mean, we have a mugshot now of Justin Timberlake. Like
Who would
who
have thunk it? That was
exactly?
not in my bingo card for 2024. I'm gonna keep saying that in every video. I was not expecting this. I never saw this coming. Justin, how could you?
Yes. That is let's discuss how 2024 has been a very crazy year. I mean, yeah, everything that's happened so far, it's just like been like I said, for him it's been downhill. Jennifer Lopez is downhill, and like tours getting canceled left and right. People are not wanting to spend money on a lot of these artists anymore. Aging pop stars, we've talked about that. And it just the Kardashians, there's no point for them to even have a show anymore. Like Kylie constantly brings out new businesses and nothing happens with them. Um Kim had a great partnership once again with the USA Team USA for the Olympics, and there was little fanfare about that.
Right?
Um, yeah, she
Crazy.
also has a partnership with the NBA and WNBA, and you heard about that for like 2 seconds, and now it's back to like whatever. So I don't know, like it's really weird. I think like a lot of what's been happening this year. I think people are not caring so much anymore about celebrity culture, and it's become more about every other crazy thing that's going on, like real life problems in the world.
Yeah. Like these interest rates. Real life problems, guys. But this is nuts. Guys, let us know what you think in the comments. Are you looking forward to going to a movie theater near you to watch The Woman in Me?
Heck yeah.
This is going in Britney's pockets. Of course we are. What do we expect to see? Are you excited to see a young Britney? Do we want to see Britney in that light? Is the memoir enough? Are we gonna hate Justin more? Like, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna boycott him?
Oh
Let
boy.
us know in the comments. But that concludes today's episode. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, please share our video. We're trying to grow our community so your friends can be our friends and we can all be friends. We also have social media, which they'll tell you about.
We are on Instagram and TikTok at Hear Me Out DNE. So make sure you guys like, follow, share, and comment. You can also listen to the videos in podcast format via Spotify and YouTube Music.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye-bye.